Finally, after 4 whole years, Hazbin Hotel is finally on the big screen on Amazon Prime. 4 episodes so far, with 4 more episodes supposed to arrive next Thursday. Well, was this show good? In my opinion, yes. I thought it was good. I don't know, maybe I'm still going through my excitement high about the fact that this show finally came out after 4 whole years, but I really like this show. But of course, with some gripes I'm about to get into. Now, of course, big spoiler alert, because I'm going to be talking about some parts of the show that I like, parts I dislike. If you've never seen Hazbin Hotel, I think you should definitely check it out. It's definitely worth the watch. But if you don't care about spoilers, then come along for the ride. Now, I'm going to start off with things I didn't really care for in the show. Don't worry, it ain't much. First thing is Adam. Now, the scenes with him were a little annoying. Now, I understand characters in Hazbin Hotel and the spin-off Hell of a Boss swear like sailors, but for Adam, it just doesn't really work for me. Now, I had to look this up because I wasn't sure and I don't know all that much about the Bible, so correct me if I'm wrong about anything in the comments, but swearing is a sin. So for Adam, it's confusing because he's an angel, and angels are supposed to be perfect in the show, so why does he get to do it without any consequences? I get that it happened before with the cherubs back in Hell of a Boss, but it still didn't make much sense to me regardless. Plus, I didn't really care much about the cherubs anyways. Now, I think I kinda understand where they were going with Adam. I guess with him feeling like he's the best because in the Bible, he was the first man. So I guess that kinda explains why he's acting like this, but again, the constant swearing just kind of gets annoying for me. Another gripe I have with the show is that I know it's an adult show, but sometimes the scenes can be a little too much. Like the scene with Angel singing the song Poison. The song was good, but the music video was just a little too much. And there was one scene beforehand, in the beginning of that episode, that was I'm not gonna say what it was, but I think you know which one I'm talking about. Sometimes it kind of felt like the song just started out of nowhere. Like it isn't for every song, but it sometimes felt as though it suddenly just happened. Maybe I'm being a little nitpicky about that part, but I digress. I think the last thing I don't care too much for in the show was how fast it felt. For example, Sir Pentious literally joins the hotel to be rehabilitated in the second episode, which in the show is the first one he appears in, not counting the pilot. Now granted, the scene with him and Charlie singing was actually very nice, and him joining the hotel to be rehabilitated was nice too, but it felt like this could have been later in the show, not the second episode. Okay, so that's pretty much all the things I didn't care for in the show. Let's talk about the things I actually really liked. Now, I know earlier I was talking about how sometimes it felt like the songs kind of start out of nowhere, but I still really like the songs. I think aside from Poison, I also really like the song between Alistair and Fox called Stay Gone. That has to be my most top favorite song. It was very fun to listen to and to watch. Another song I really liked was Loser Baby, and I know the Husker X Angel Dust fans were having an absolute field day with the song. I think my least favorite song was Whatever It Takes with Vaggie and the Overlord named Carmilla, which wasn't bad. It was alright, honestly. Honestly, I'd give Whatever It Takes a good 6 out of 10. Vox was absolutely amazing. Like, I can't get over his voice, his funny little quips. Like, he is absolutely the best. I really like the scenes of Sir Pentious being like this caring dad to his little eggs, which now that I think about it, where does he get them from? Some of the jokes got a good laugh out of me. Has my humor finally went down the drain? Probably. Episode 4 really got me. First, before I get into it, I didn't know Valentino's coat was actually his wings, which is actually pretty cool to see. The scene where it's just Valentino and Angel Dust alone in a room after the trouble Charlie had accidentally caused, Valentino literally gave him a black eye. You can see how absolutely terrified Angel Dust is, and the tension in the scene was so much. This whole scene was absolutely gut-wrenching, and Angel Dust having to yell at Charlie to leave hurt my soul so much. This whole episode was just so hard to watch, but in a good way. He was forced to record for the whole night and he looked so miserable throughout it. You really can't help but feel bad for him, and I really like this episode, and I really want to see where else the show is going to go because there's so much left unexplained. There was actually a scene where Valentino shows Angel Dust a contract list of people he owns, and of course he's one of them, but there's also someone named Anthony on the list, and Angel Dust looks visibly upset to see the name. So you gotta wonder, who is this Anthony and what's his relationship with Angel Dust, and how does he tie it into his backstory? Is he a family member, or potentially a friend, or someone he was in a relationship with? I want to know more about that. Okay, last thing I want to talk about is the plot. And I actually really like the plot. Basically, every year there's a day where the angels come down to kill sinners to basically lower the overpopulation. However, for the first time, a demon managed to kill one of the angels, which Adam finds a huge problem with this. And it seems like he and the other angels are actually threatened by this, because if demons find out that angels are killable, that can literally start an all-out war between them. So, in response, Adam decides to lower it to 6 months instead of every year. So in 6 months, the angels are going to come back to exterminate more sinners, but they're not going to reveal why they are doing this because, obviously it will cause a war between them. After the news is revealed that the angels will be back in 6 months rather than 1 year, it becomes absolute chaos, more so than usual, because now everyone's afraid that they're going to die in 6 months rather than 1 year. Vaggie helps Charlie see that this could be an actual opportunity to get more demons to rehabilitate, because they might actually be desperate enough to join the hotel so they can avoid the extermination. Meanwhile, the overlords are having a meeting and they're discussing about the fact the extermination has been lowered to every 6 months. There is this singing argument between the overlords Velvet and Carmelia, which is actually a pretty good song. Velvet wanted to start a war with the angels, while Carmelia doesn't want to and wants to keep the dying angel a secret, and it's later on revealed that she's the one who killed the angel, and Alistair actually finds out with this thanks to one of Serpentia's little egg minions. I find this plot pretty interesting, and I can't wait to see where this is going to go. This has a lot of potential, and I'm really hoping this show will hopefully avoid the problems that Hello Boss has, because that show has its good episodes and very bad episodes. Oh, don't worry, I have plans for that episode. Overall, I give this show a 7.5 out of 10. The story is pretty interesting, the voice acting is really good, most of the songs are pretty good, the animation looks very, very nice. What do you think of Hazbin Hotel? What do you think could be better? Let me know in the comments. Thank you all for clicking on this video, it means a lot. Consider liking and subscribing for future videos like this one. Stay amazing, you stars.